So we're going to go back and forth between these mics to keep it interesting, unless I get a dirty look from the camera folks over there.
The dirty look would be at me, but that's all right. Again, my name is Brian Karam. I'm a have been a White House correspondent since the Reagan era. I write a column for Salon today. I want to speak to a couple of things that we need in this business. And if you're here to listen, God bless you for doing it, because there are very few in government who will. I have engaged many people in government. I'll just go from a sentence. What we need is an independent media, a viable independent media that cannot be leveraged by government contracts, is well staffed with experienced, seasoned reporters from every facet of life. To quote Ben Bagdickian, the former editor of the Washington Post, our job is to stand up. Our job is to ask the question. Our job is not to care about what our editors think, the money that we make, our career, or even what we think. We're the representatives of the people in that room. We're the ones that ask the questions. I see some of us doing their job. I'm tired. I'll be honest with you. 43 years of doing this crap. I've been arrested numerous times. I've been jailed 4 times to protect a confidential source. I had to fight Donald Trump 3 times in court during his first administration after he tried to yank my press pass. I've been attacked. I've been vilified, and I don't care. Quite honestly, I don't. I know the job when I got it, but I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of listening to people talk and do nothing. The government needs to do some really desperate, deep dive things to make journalism viable. First of all, bust up the media monopolies. Second of all, I think it's a Medill study in this last year. 45% of the counties in this government, 45% of them do not have local media, right? No local newspaper, no local radio station, nothing. And in those 45% of those counties, Donald Trump won 90% of those in the last election, many of them by landslide. Without information, without vetted factual information, we're doomed. And I'm not here to tell you, everyone loves to say we're here to preach the truth. No, hell no. There's 10,000 religions in this world. Every one of them has their truth. I'm here to give you the facts, vetted factual information. The name, it sounds like a plug, but the name of my podcast is called Just Ask the Question, because of something that Helen Thomas told me on the very first day I walked into the White House. She said, Brian, it doesn't matter if they answer the question. It doesn't matter what the answer is. Just ask the question. That way they cannot deny that it's been on the record. Then Sam Donaldson told me that he'd teach me how to yell so I'd get my question answered. And him and Helen went off in a veritable love fest. So that was my first day in the White House, and I loved it. It is a great place to be. It is a great career for people. And why I am not as optimistic is because what depresses me the most is the weakness that we have shown since Donald Trump came back into office. People that I have respected are afraid to ask a question. People that I know for many years are not even allowed in the press pool to ask the questions. I want to tell you briefly the things that you need to understand. We have the White House Correspondents Association worked hand in hand with Donald Trump during the first 10 days of this administration to produce the president's schedule. We call it daily guidance. They produced it because Trump didn't have anybody to do it. That's not our job. And the White House Correspondents Association did that because they thought it would curry favor with the president and he wouldn't be as hard on us as he has been. The only way, I forget who said it, the only way to stand up to a bully is to punch him in the nose. Thank you. That's exactly what you have to do.
I'm not condoning violence.
I don't know, and I don't mean
Important
and I do not mean it physically. I mean it metaphorically. But you do have to stand up. And I have seen people do it and they haven't been backed. And in fact, members of Congress say, Brian, this is a great idea. I have testified in Congress for laws, shield laws, so that reporters can protect themselves from being jailed like I was. You would think that this would pass because, as someone else mentioned, the bill that I testified for was backed and written by Jamie Raskin and Jim Jordan, of all people. and it can't pass because Congress doesn't have the huevos to do it. And then you go back to SLAPP legislation. You've got to do something about strategic lawsuits against public participation. There needs to be national standards for that. Donald Trump is an expert at using it. He doesn't expect to win any of these lawsuits against CBS or anyone else, but because they have vested interest in the government and additional government contracts, they will react the way Donald Trump wants, knowing full well that if they do, he will back off. It's a stratagem. So I ask you, sorry, I'm a reporter. When I just ask that you make a stance, you are here listening to us. I ask that you do something because I'm telling you from reporters in the field, we'll do our job. We want to do our job. We don't have the backing of the people above us, and we don't have the backing from our government to do our job. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go over here to Carmelita.
Hi, I'm Carmelita Ramirez Sanchez,